Arise, O compatriots, Nigeria's call obey, to serve our fatherland with love and strength and faith. What's up, Naija? Happy Independence Day to you all. Every morning in the African jungle, the African antelope, the impala, wakes up knowing that it must outrun the fastest lion if it wants to stay alive. And every morning, a lion wakes up knowing that it must outrun the slowest impala or it will starve. There is a relationship between these two animals. They both wake up with the same purpose, the quest for survival. This is exactly what happens in Nigeria, the quest for survival. Some wake up for good and others for bad. But there's something unique about Naija. We make things happen. When there is no way, we make one. But despite all of this, we seem to be in a downward movement. So what's happening? Who split the milk? Disclaimer, I'm not here to heap blames on anybody or point fingers. Truth is, we've all messed up in one way or the other. Yes, everybody. And we need a solution desperately. Funny enough, the solution is in our hands, but it seems to be hidden. Fortunately, I was able to decode this secret and trace it to our national anthem. Our anthem contains everything we need to become a world power, but we seem to be ignorant of it, or we just turn in a blind eye. The people who wrote this anthem were inspired. They were under the influence of a supernatural power. But wait, I'm not talking about the first stanza, but the second. Unfortunately, we rarely sing this stanza, but the truths embedded therein are overwhelming. Now let's dive into the real business. Let's decode these secrets together. O God of creation, direct our noble course, guide our leaders right. Now pause. First of all, what does this sound like? A prayer. This words explicitly tells us that we accept the sovereignty of a supreme creator, God. This implies that this country was or should have been founded on sound religious and moral principles. I often hear some folks say religion is our problem. That's laughable. That can't be true. Flipping through the pages of history, you'll discover that many great and powerful nations today were founded on this same pure religious principles. No wonder a country like America grew to become so powerful and formidable. So our problem is not the precept, but the people who prefer not to practice what I preach. The religious sector that was meant to be our solution and powerhouse has now become our problem house. We tend to have a form of godliness, but we deny its power in our business. We've become like coffins, beautiful on the outside, but dead, rotten and stinking on the inside. We shout hallelujah in our synagogues, but when we turn our backs, we backbite our brothers and slander our sisters. Our anthem goes on to say, help our youth the truth to know, in love and honesty to grow, and living just and true. Now pause for a second. This sounds like a rebuke. Yes, because we've all messed up here. Help our youth the truth to know. I came across the post on social media that reads, the truth is now the new hate speech. And it's quite obvious. If you want to get in trouble, speak and stand up for the truth. But we forget that when you make the truth your enemy, you fall into nemesis. In recent times, I've seen lots of folks clamoring on social media, give the youth a chance to rule, they are the future leaders of tomorrow. Of course, that's a great thing. I'll be glad to see that happen. But the sad truth is, when you visit our schools and see the evils, lies and injustice perpetrated in just the SUG elections alone, you'll discover that our future as a country has committed an abortion. Or what about the cyber crimes? Maybe when the youth finally gets the chance, we will translate those crimes from the internet to the government. Our future is dead. The next line says, in love and honesty to grow, and living just and true. Now note the keywords, love, honesty, just and true. These words in this context were meant to be verbs, action words, but we've reduced them to just mere nouns and pronouns, taken over by tribalism and all other isms that has stunted our growth. I came across something that almost gave me a heart attack. I'm not such a spiritual person, but I saw a verse in the Holy Book, precisely in Ezekiel 16 verse 4 to 9. It says, now this was the sin of your sister Sodom. She and her daughters were arrogant, overfed and unconcerned. They did not help the poor and needy. You know, when you hear the word Sodom, the first thing that pops in your mind is a country destroyed by God because of their unnatural sexual perversions. But that is just a part of the story. The other part is that they practiced injustice, were arrogant, unconcerned, and didn't help the poor and needy. Does that sound like what's happening around us? Albert Einstein once quoted that insanity is doing the same thing over and over again and expecting a different result. I hope we don't end up the same way. On every election day, we troop out en masse to continue our guesswork, wishing for a new messiah who will effect the change we dearly desire to have, but we seem to get it wrong somewhere. When you visit the newspaper stands, you will see past and future leaders of Nigeria blaming the government and giving directives on how the government should be run. But when given a chance, you see angels turning into monsters overnight. The leaders today were once ordinary people like us. They also believe they will effect a positive change if they ever had the opportunity. But when it finally happened, what follows next will shock you. Maybe we are ignoring the source of the problem. What we need is a mindset we have. Barack Obama, the former US president, rightly noted that change will not come if we wait for some other person or if we wait for some other time. We are the ones we've been waiting for. We are the change that we seek. You could be the one up there tomorrow. Never underestimate yourself. So can we trust you with the future of this country? Judging from your mindset today, your seen and unseen actions, can we trust you to liberate us from the shackles of poverty and corruption? Whatever your answer is, goes a long way to give you a blueprint of what our future looks like. Never underestimate the power of one. If individual minds becomes positive and free, it will work its way upward and change the mindset at the top. The greatest need of this country is not money. It is the need of men and women who will not be bought or sold like food items in a bazaar. Men and women who from the inside are true and honest. Men and women who will not fear to speak up and stand up for the right though the heavens fall. I ain't talking about perfection but excellence. If we are able to get this done, the next line of our national anthem says, "Great lofty heights attain," and that's exactly what's going to happen. We achieve great things beyond our widest imaginations, and when Nigeria speaks, the world will listen. And finally, we'll be able to build that nation where peace and justice should reign. To conclude this prayer, I pledge to Nigeria, my country, to be faithful, loyal and honest, to serve Nigeria with all my strength, to defend the unity and uphold the honor and glory. So help me God. Amen.
Prominence, long life to Nigeria. Long life to able leaders of Nigerians. I dedicate this one to Nigerians. One love, my people. We can make Naija the best, yeah. One love. A place to the stay, yeah. One love. Say the better roll a honey, yeah. One love. Show the humanity, not money, yeah. One Naija. Abia, Adamawa, Akwa Ibom, Kaduna, Katsina, Cross River, Borno, Bauchi, Nasarawa, Kwara, Naija, Plateau Rivers, Anambra, Bayelsa, Cross River, Delta, Ebonyi, Ido,